By high school, he was a left-handed drummer looking for a band. And that's where he met a bass player named Andre Simone.
He was in a band called Grand Central. And it just so happened they were having trouble with their drummer. So they invited me to come by and audition, set my drums up. And there was this weird guy standing in a dark corner staring at me. He didn't say shit to me. He just looked at me like he was crazy. And he did that for the next 2 or 3 weeks before he really even said anything to me.
That young man was Prince Rogers Nelson, the artist who would come to define Morris Day's life.
He had that mystery thing jumping off at an early age. Then he'd go in and out. You know, he wanted to be funny and laugh, and then all of a sudden, you're right back into that thing again. And it wasn't until I got in Grand Central that I actually saw him playing.
He was amazing. I mean, I remember he had the little silver tone guitar, and it had the little fuzz tone that stuck inside and stuff.
Jelly Bean Johnson was another childhood friend, and another left-handed drummer, and one of the first witnesses of the early Prince artistry.
He was this little dude, but at 13, he was scary, you know.
Prince was hitting Santana guitar solos and stuff like that. I was just mesmerized.
Prince was just a phenom on guitar, on keyboards, playing drums. Like, he was in a whole nother orbit than everybody else, and it was apparent.
James Harris, also known as Jimmy Jam, and Terry Lewis were both playing music in high school at the time in Minneapolis.
I mean, Prince had, you know, no doubt he had the talent.
And Morris was funky.
And Morris was funky.
He may have been funky, but that wasn't enough. After high school, Morris's mother moved the family to Maryland, and the little pimp started a real job.
I worked at a car rental counter at Montgomery Ward's. I rented cars to people. And, you know, I'm sitting there in this boring $4 or $5 an hour job, and then I hear Prince's record come on the radio. Just messed me up. He did it, you know, he did what we always talked about, and I'm sitting there listening to it, and I'm telling people, that's my buddy. You know, they looking at me like, yeah, right.
In that moment, Morris Day took control of his life.
So I got back to Minneapolis as fast as I could. Prince and I started hanging out. We laugh, we joke, you know, we talk shit. And then we would play music, you know, and so one time we was in the studio and I fired up a groove and Prince heard something in it and he wanted it. So he's like, I'll offer you the music deal or I'll offer you $20K. I was like, I'll take the deal. That's how the time got started. And, you know, rest is history.
The deal came with some strings. Prince would put the band together and be in control of everything.
At that time, you know, I was the drummer in this band called Flight Time. Bass was Terry Lewis. Keyboards was Jimmy Jam. Morris knew he wanted to work with us.
Alexander O'Neill from Flight Time was going to be the lead singer, and I was going to be the drummer. But Alexander wanted more paper.
Alex basically talked himself out of the group by telling Prince he needed more money and he needed a swimming pool and he needed a house and he needed all this stuff. And Prince basically was like, okay, you're done.
So we're looking for a singer, and Prince said, why don't you do it? I was like, I don't want to do it. I want to play the drums. I don't want to sing, man. I said, I've never fronted a band before, so I don't know what I would do. And he said, just put your hand in your pocket and be cool. I said, I can do that. And that was how we got the song Cool, and then from there, everything just totally blew.
You wonder how I do it. It's just one simple rule. I'm just cool.
Cool was recorded in Prince's home studio in April 1981 and released by Morris Day and The Time.
Prince just built it from the ground up. You know, you're just gonna be cool. That's what you're gonna do. And that's what we did. Prince had this whole vision in his mind how he wanted us to look. We went to the vintage stores and got clothes. That's how Morris became, you know, the famous Morris Day that he is today.